Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning, rise and shine. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I woke up this morning singing a song. Miss Cynthia, I was singing a song. This song goes way back. The songs go way back. You got to be from the Bahamas to appreciate this one. You got to remember this one. It goes something like this. They said I wouldn't make it. They said I wouldn't be here today. They said I wouldn't amount to anything. But I'm glad to say that I'm on my way. I'm growing more and more each day. There were many that started out with me, but they've all gone astray. But I'm still holding on. Miss Sybil, I'm still holding on. That's how I feel this morning. Oh my Lord, I feel that this morning. Man, it's been a while. I woke up singing, but that's what I felt. I felt that in my spirit. Boy, Pastor Claire, I felt it. I'm still holding on, sir. I wondered if you would have remembered that one. I wondered if you would have remembered that, Pastor Claire. But this morning, let's do this because it's going to be a busy day. It's day 1 of May. God bless you all. You made it to the month of May. As you guys know, I announced that starting June 1st, we won't be having these morning sessions like this anymore. I am doing a few things a little bit different coming this May. I'll keep you guys updated on that. Of course, you know we're going to still be doing some effective living ambassador stuff. Okay, we're just going to take it to the next level. We're just going to take it to the next level. But you are now in the month of May. And you can start off saying, I'm still holding on. I'm still holding on to God's hands. And that's a blessing. Well, this morning I want to talk about the subject matter. What is your story? Okay. What's your story? What is it that you've been telling yourself? Because I believe that we have the power to write our story. I believe we have the power. I believe we're writing our stories, but a lot of us haven't taken the time to acknowledge that. Okay, a lot of us haven't taken the time to acknowledge that. So I want you this morning, I want you to start thinking, okay, what is my story? What is my story? Our lives are narratives shaped by the stories we tell ourselves. Shaped by the stories we tell ourselves. What we repeatedly tell ourselves become our reality. Coach Deborah. Let me say it again. What we repeatedly tell ourselves becomes our reality. So the question is, you've got to ask yourself, what have you been repeatedly saying? Miss Sybil, what you repeatedly say becomes an idea that is rooted in the mind. It then takes root even deeper into your spirit, into your soul, and before you know it, you become one what you repeatedly say. You become one with what you repeatedly say, which ends up becoming what you believe. So we're told, okay, we're told, if you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. And so whatever you repeatedly say of yourself is actually what you are establishing about yourself. So we repeatedly tell ourselves things that we don't want to be our reality. Okay, we repeatedly tell ourselves things we don't want to be our reality, but we keep saying it. I'm not good with money. I'm not a talker. That's just not me. I've never been good at that. Well, you don't understand. Miller, it's easy for you to say that. Okay, if that's the story you're going to tell yourself. If that's the story you're going to tell yourself. I, yesterday, was sitting under my tent as I was talking to a young man, and we were talking about the campaign, and I came from work, one office to another office, one office on the 6th floor, the other office on the ground floor. The ground floor office was under a tent on a corner with me holding up a sign campaigning. And he said, man, I can't believe you are here doing this. I said, of course. Because the reality of it is, I have to tell myself, I have to do what I have to do to get to where God has wanted me to go. Because, oh, I'm shy. And what if people say, and oh my God, I can't believe I'm out here holding a sign. And oh my God, this. And listen, what are you telling yourself? I'm going to win. That's what I'm telling myself. I'm telling myself, I got this. With the help of God on my side, I have to kill pride. I have to kill ego. I have to get beyond what I've been accustomed to, and I have to go where I haven't gone before. I'm talking to somebody this morning. I have to go where I haven't gone before. I have to do what I have not done before. So listen, man, I have to push this thing to the next level. I'm not afraid of becoming who I haven't been. Let me say it again. I'm not afraid to become who I have not been. I haven't been there, but I need to be there because that's my destiny. Now, if that's my destiny, then I have to be prepared to do the work to get to the promised land. To get to the promised land. Well, I'm not this, I'm not that. Where did you pick that up from? A lot of us, Pastor Claire, have not done the work to identify where we have picked up our narrative from. We heard our parents say to us, she's not a talker. She's not the smart one. Yeah, she's the black sheep of the family. Somebody said, well, your sister's the favorite. And now you start to believe you're the last. What story have you been telling yourself? What's your story? So today I want you to drive. Today I want you to park. Today I want you to think about the story you've been telling yourself. Because lately, I've been taking the time to ask myself, where did my story come from that I kept holding on to, that I've constantly been defying the odds, Miss Cynthia. I've constantly been going beyond the story that has been told of me, that I've been telling, that have been told of me, that I have owned, but it's not true. I had to get past what I've been accustomed to saying to myself. I had to get past what I've been hearing from those around me, and I have to start believing what God says about me. I have to start believing in regards to the yearning, passion, and the drive that's within me that says, God wants you to do this. God wants you to go there. God wants you to raise your hands. And I'm like, but I've never. That's not me. But if God is challenging you, we sung a song, Pastor Claire, I'm really going back. Lord, I'm available to you. I don't know if any of you guys, some of y'all remember that song. Lord, I'm available to you. My will I give to you. I'll do what you say do. Use me, Lord, to show someone the way and enable me to say, my will I give to you. I'll do what you say do. Use me, Lord. Boy, I remember that song. The song says, my will I give to you. Now, here's the deal. And then God says, I want you working with children. The devil is a liar. I'm not good with children. God said, I want you to become a speaker. Oh my God, I've never spoken in my life. I want you to write a book, but you don't understand my educational background. Me writing a book, no one in my family has ever written a book. I want you to start a business. Well, entrepreneurs are not in my family. I want you to be a millionaire. Oh, you don't understand. I can barely manage the money that's coming in. I cannot see myself being a millionaire. I could barely manage the money. And we have these positions that we keep leaning towards that have become our truth. has become our story only because that's what we keep telling ourselves. That's what we keep saying. And you are not going to be any more than what you keep repeatedly saying to yourself. Now you pray, Lord, however you want to use me, your will be done. How many of y'all have said that before? How many of you have prayed, I just want the will of God? Now the question is, are you honest? Do you really want the will of God? Because the will of God for your life could have it to be for you to raise your hands to do something you have never done before. And if the story you've been telling yourselves is that you can't do that, now there's going to be what I call an internal fight. So, Miss Cynthia, some of the fights that we have is not that it's not the will of God for us, it's the story we keep telling ourselves. The stories we keep telling ourselves. So, watch this. Have you paused to consider the script that you have been writing for yourself? You really need to start telling yourself, what have I been telling me that's not right? Write that question now. What have I been telling me that's not right? Got a chance to spend some time with Minister Sybil yesterday, and you blessed me, Minister Sybil, when you referred to the whole idea that we talk about here on this platform, and that is unlearning what we should have never learned. And so this whole idea of you getting to the point where you start to really examine your script. What do I say to myself repeatedly on a daily basis that's not true? Boy, that's good stuff right there. That's good stuff. I'm telling you, I'm going to use June as a time of soul searching. I'm going to use June as a time of self-evaluation. It's mid-year. It's mid-year. Oh man, it's mid-year. And I don't want to keep living the way that I'm living if that's not the will of God for me. But Ricardo, you've been accustomed to living this way for a long time. I'm 48 years old. And I've been accustomed, but I need to know more of who I should be rather than who I've accepted. Let me say it again. In this season of my life, I need to know more of who I supposed to be, who I need to be, who I was destined to be, rather than who I've accepted myself to be. So, your inner dialogue, the beliefs that you hold about yourself and the world forms the foundation of your story. What have you been telling yourself? What dialogue? Inner dialogue. I'll never make any more money. They'll never pay me that kind of money. It just won't work. I just cannot see it happening. People like me, I was born on the wrong side of the track. I've always been the black sheep. People say things like, I try to stay away from people who say things like this, Mother Katie. I try to stay away from people who say, boy, when it rains, it pours. People who say, I can't win for losing. Right? Whether it is, I'm not good enough, with a lot of people, they may not say that to a lot of people around them, but they say that to themselves. I'll never succeed. Wow. Can you imagine someone saying that to themselves? I am not worthy of love. People say that to themselves. These narratives shapes our actions and our outcomes. And what happens is, because what you believe becomes the foundation for how you live, you eventually sometimes self-sabotage yourself. It's not that God hasn't destined you for better. It's that you don't believe you're capable of better. You don't believe that you're deserving of better. And then you're around some people who are glad you're not doing better, because if you did do better, you would elevate yourself higher than them. Some people want to see you do well. They just don't want to see you doing better than them. Okay? Let me say it again. Some people want to see you do well. They just don't want to see you do better than them. And so a lot of us, it's not that we're not capable of more. Sometimes it's the circle you run with that is intimidated by the greatness within you, that is encouraging you not to soar, not to try new things, not to go where you haven't gone before, not to break the cycle. You want to be a vegan because you want to break the cycle of a sickness and a generational stronghold of certain behaviors because of eating patterns or people past. But now you want to break that. But guess what? You won't break that hanging around the people you've been hanging around. You want to break the spirit of paycheck to paycheck living and limited means. But because of who you're hanging around, guess what? That whole spirit of, you know what? That's just the way it is. This is how it's always been. Is going to be your narrative. Now, if you're going to break out of that, you need to not only talk to yourself, you need to change your circle. You need to come up. You need to come up. You really need to stretch yourself. Let me finish this up because we could do more of this tomorrow. Take a moment to reflect on your story. Look at what you've been telling yourself. What have I been telling myself? And then what are the people around me saying that's reinforcing this stuff? I'll talk more about that tomorrow. Identifying the reoccurring themes and beliefs. Please write that down. Write that down. Coach Deb, I see you writing stuff down. Write this down. I'm going to take some time to identify the reoccurring themes and beliefs in my head. I'm going to take the time to identify the reoccurring themes and beliefs that's in my head. What's the reoccurring themes and beliefs that's in my head? Miss Cynthia, you got to get it because it is the reoccurring themes and beliefs that you're going to live out. You're not going to get anything more than what you expect. So, let me say it again. You're not going to get anything more than what you expect. So identify the reoccurring themes and beliefs because those are going to be the foundation for which you live your life and base your foundational truth on. And before you know it, you are only what you've been repeatedly playing in your head, playing in your spirit. So rewrite your narrative by empowering yourself by grabbing a hold of truth. This is what I've been saying to myself. This is what they've been saying to me, but this is what is true. And the truth will set me free. Okay? The truth will set me free. And so rewrite your narrative. I'm no longer going to say I'm shy. I'm no longer going to say I'm undeserving. What in the world you mean you're undeserving? As hard as you have worked, well, they'll never promote me. Come on. Well, who better to be promoted? You deserve a promotion. Well, I don't know if I can start my own business. Well, why? Listen, you are smarter than 10 of the people you've watched started business and thrive. They've been thriving and you have skills and abilities so much more than them. Oh my goodness, I don't know if I can write a book. Oh my God, you've read more books and critiqued those books only to find where those books fall short. You are so much more skilled than those people who have written books, but yet you haven't written a book yet. Oh, I don't know if I could make that kind of money, but yet you're managing other people's money. You're managing big money, okay? You've been educated to manage money, but yet personally you ain't got no money. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with that picture? You got to get to the core. You got to get to the core. That's why I like my one-on-one coaching. The people who can deal with my one-on-one coaching, they have breakthroughs like other people don't have because they are dealing with the core. I take them where they haven't been accustomed to going, and we work on some stuff. And I'm doing it for me as well. I don't want to just talk about this. I want to be the manifestation of it. Okay? I don't want to just talk about this. I want to be the manifestation of it. So last but not least, your story is yours to shape. Okay? Your story is yours to shape. Make it a resilient, growth, and empowering one where you say, okay, over time, I'm going to become who I should be by doing the unlearning, by establishing a new narrative and directing myself in the way that I should really go. I'm going to break out of the mold because my destiny is on the other side of my comfort zone. Okay? Let me say it again. My destiny is on the other side of my comfort zone. Don't get comfortable. If you got another 10 years, you need to crush it. You got another 5 years, you need to crush it. Listen, man, you've got this month. Welcome to the month of May. It's the month to crush it. Do well. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. You don't want to miss tomorrow. I'm telling you, we're going to close it out strong. Bye-bye.